On YouTube too, right?
All right. So I just want to say welcome everybody to our masterclass series. My name is Zach O'Farrell. I'm the director of education program
On YouTube too, right?
at the Afro-Latin Jazz Alliance.
All right. On YouTube too, right?
So
Yeah,
I
we're
just
on
want to
say
welcome
everybody.
why am I hearing myself?
Our masterclass series.
Ooh. Okay. Sorry, I was hearing myself. It's weird.
Internet. At the Afro-Latin Jazz Alliance.
And
all right. All right. So yeah, I want to say
someone
everybody
listening to me while I'm on here.
Our masterclass series.
I think someone's listening to watching the video while I'm on here. But that's okay. My name is Zach O'Farrell. I'm the director of education programs at the Afro-Latin Jazz Alliance. Yes, I am sweating inside because it's summertime in New York. It's very hot and humid, and I'm a hard head. I don't have my air conditioner turned on right now. That's likely to change in the next 5 minutes. I'm very excited to introduce our guest artist for today's masterclass, the great Daniela Serna, fantastic percussionist from Colombia, who's going to be sharing with us a lot of incredible art and information. So yeah, I'm not going to say much more. Donnie, you got it.
Thank you so much. Hello, everyone who's here ready to play some Bullerengue. And hello to everyone who is watching us on YouTube. I feel very excited with this invitation. My name is Daniela Serna, and as Zach was saying, I'm a percussionist. And the instrument that we will play and focus on today will be this one, which is called tambour alegre, o sea, happy drum, just like that. But I'm also a composer. I write music, and I belong currently to LADAMA. That's the band that I used to tour with before the quarantine began. And it's a beautiful project. I also recommend you guys to listen to because we actually released a record last week called Oye Mujer, and it's a band with 4 women from 4 different countries. I'm the Colombian part of it, but there's a Venezuelan, a Brazilian, and a North American girl on it. So that's what I've been doing right now, but also Bullerengue and Caribbean rhythms has been part of my life since I was 15 years old, so that's already 15 years actually investigating and learning from these traditions. And basically the way I learn all these rhythms that I'm going to share with you today was traveling to festivals in Colombia. We have so many festivals where we celebrate the oral traditions, not only the Caribbean coast, but, Pacific coast, the Amazonas, high plains in the east and in the north, up in the Guajira, all around the country, there's festivals, and that's the way I learn this music. And thank you so much for having me today. We're going to start a little bit, and I will share my screen with you so you can see a little bit of what I prepare for you. So you guys can see? So Afro-Colombian oral traditions in the Caribbean coast. Well, Afro-Colombian, the Bullerengue, it's an Afro-Colombian baile cantado, which basically means sing and dance. This is a music that it doesn't exist just with the sound. It needs the movement around. You're always going to have like the groove, the rhythm, the community, and the dance. It's a vital part of it. As many of the oral traditional manifestations of the Caribbean coast we have in Colombia, because I guess you guys are familiar with cumbia. I suppose because it's more popular, but cumbia are just like the tip of the iceberg of the many, many, many rhythms and traditions we have. It's important that it's the cultural expressions of the resistance of Black communities that were enslaved and oppressed in the contest. I would say as a parallel, it's like blues in the States, not only by the context that it was born, but also the feeling, the sorrow that you have or even if it's a different emotion, Bullerengue has that also, like this need of freedom. And it's quite powerful and inspiring. And also, Bullerengue is not only music, but it's a way of life or a way of living. Not sure if that's correct, but it's important to understand that this music, it's a community music. It's not only, I'm gonna play today, but they live with Bullerengue. They woke up in these communities and they're singing the way they say hello to each other, when they buy fruit, when they share. It's always with music around. So that's important to understand. We're gonna talk about the traditional instrumentation we have in Bullerengue. So you can see tambor alegre in the photo, exactly like the one that I have here. The skin that this instrument has is goat, venado, or chivo, it could be. And you see in the photo next to the alegre, a tiny one, right? Like exactly like alegre, but just smaller. That one is called tambor llamador, which means caller. This one is going to be played to the side, and it's a small drum that it's going to be playing all the time, a very simple pattern, the upbeat, but we will talk about it later. And in the right part of the image, you will see totuma, tablitas, guache, or maracas. This is all what we call como percusión menor, like shakers. So if you can say, I cannot listen to you guys, but I know you can do it at home. You can repeat after me. Totuma. Great. So totuma is basically like, voy a decir esto en español. Es un totumo, es un vaso de un árbol tradicional. And what they do in this shape, it's like half of this. This one is maraca, right? You can see this one. But the totuma is just half of it, and they put the plates, like they break the plates in pieces, and they put the small pieces of the plates inside the totuma. So after months of months, like shaking and shaking it, it's crazy, but it develops like a beautiful texture and sound. So totuma, it's quite specific from Bullerengue. Tablitas, you guys can still see me, right? Even if I share the, okay. Tablitas are these ones. And because clapping is such an essential part of Bullerengue, the story tells that because they were playing for, if you are in a Bullerengue party, it's not going to be just 1 hour. It's going to be like 2, 3, 4, like you're going to keep playing. So if you are clapping only with your hands, after many, many times, it's just too much. So that's what they have, tablitas. And guache, can you say in your home, guache? Great. It's that shaker you see in that photo. That guy is holding a guache. Finally, maraca is this one. I wanted to show you different options of percussion because with these traditional groups in the Caribbean coast, each of them has a particularity, it's part of the individual expression, In one town, you're going to see totuma, in the other one, guache, in the other one, maracon, and it's just part of the freedom of this music that it's not static at all. So here you can see like the people and in the festivals, this is how they dress on the traditional garments for festivals. Because, we can have Bullerengue parties in the cities and we can be dressed up just the way we are, We don't need to be dressed like this. But when it comes to performance, when it comes to the festivals and the contest of the traditions, this is how they dress. And I put the names of some of the small villages. I guess you guys, if you know Colombia, you know that it's very common to talk about Cartagena, Santa Marta, Barranquilla. Those are the big cities. But if you go further in those cities to the small villages around, you will find Puerto Escondido, María la Baja, Chigorodó, Arboletes, Necoclí, San Juan de Urabá, San Basilio de Palenque, first free town of the Americas, and Gamero. All of these small towns had Bullerengue. Okay. Aires del bullerengue. Aire in español would be like air, but this is how you will understand better what are we gonna play. So let's think about the Caribbean music in Colombia as a tree. You know, it's a big tree, and there's different branches. And I believe bullerengue it's only one of the branches of bullerengue we're gonna talk about today. And there's three rhythms, as you can see. The first one, bullerengue sentado. The second one, chalupa. And the third one, fandango de lengua. This is the bullerengue tree. This is the bullerengue family. I put binario, and ternario as a way to show you one difference between the rhythms. You know, bullerengue sentado and chalupa are binario rhythms. I don't know how to say binario in English, but it's, 2 and 2 or 4, 4, the metric, we're gonna count 1, 2, 1, 2.
In English, we call them simple meters.
How do you say that, Zach?
Simple meters.
And the ternario?
You can call that like complex, but also binary and we don't have our language for it isn't as like just clear cut and simple. But you could say binary meters and tertiary meters.
Okay, there you go. That's the difference between these three rhythms of bullerengue. So I think Zach can share with us a video of bullerengue, so we can now see an example of all that I'm talking about, bullerengue. So Zach will show us one of the traditional groups from Colombia playing a song, bullerengue song, if you mind, Zach.
Agárralo, ay, agarra el amadillo. Agárralo, ay, amadillo enhuecao. Agárralo, ay, agárralo de rabo. Agárralo, ay, agárralo de rabo. Agárralo, ay, amadillo enhuecao. Wake up.
Beautiful. So that was Paula Flores from Maria La Baja in Bolívar. Bolívar is one of the states in the Caribbean region of Colombia. So now we can start and play a little bit of these rhythms. So tambor alegre, my instrument, grooves and sounds. If some of you have percussion to try, you can just try your drums right now. If you don't, we can just use our bodies. So the first one, let's start with Bullerengue. Bullerengue sentado, I would say, is the ballad of this family. Is the slow rhythm. Usually the lyrics are about the sorrow, or if you're talking about a different thing, there's a sorrow in your guts and in your soul and in the singing you put on. So I want to share with you this song called La Verdolaga. So under the groove and the rhythm, you will see La Verdolaga. That's the name of this song. We will sing right now. But first, I want to show you the sounds of alegre, which sounds we can have here. We're going to start with 4 sounds. First one, open sound. This open sound is the one you have in your drum using basically this part of your hand and open. You just leave the sound open. You don't hold the skin, you just open sound. So if you want to try it in your drum or the thing you're practicing at home right now, just do it. That's the open sound. Second sound would be slap. It's like a slap on your face. It's a cachetada. And the shape of your hand should be like a cave, I would say, or a claw, sort of, The thing is you need to create a space between the skin and your hand. That's the slap sound. Third sound would be bass. And it goes right in the middle of the drum. Right? And with con toda la palma de tu mano. Hold your hand directly to the drum. So we have open, slap, which is a cave, then bass, and the last sound will be the tip of your fingers, la yema de tus dedos, and it's gonna be at the border. And we're gonna have this harmonic sound. We can play Bullerengue family rhythms with these 4 sounds. Last thing for your position in any drum, because I know not everyone has tambor alegre, maybe you have yembe, congas, or whatever percussion you're trying. We're gonna create like this triangle, as a reference to put your hands, This is like a good space to be on your drum, not to be like this, or I believe this is a good position to empower yourself to feel like you own the drum, which you do. So, La Verdolaga. This is the first song. Rhythm, Bullerengue sentado. Y es bonita la verdolaga por el suelo. Bonita como se riega la verdolaga por el suelo. Bonita tu varaciana y la verdolaga por el suelo. Bonita como se riega la verdolaga por el suelo. Entonces, our groove. First, we will use una onomatopeya. Onomatopoeic, we're gonna sing. Bullerengue, 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 bullerengue. Yeah, try it and say it with your voice. And this is our tempo. Once again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Bullerengue, 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 bullerengue. Beautiful. Now we're gonna put a little bit, we're gonna go to the next level. I'm gonna do this. Bullerengue, 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 patacón, bullerengue, 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 patacón. Right? We're gonna create a longer version of the groove. So everyone, 1, 2, 3, 4, bullerengue, 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 patacón, bullerengue, 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 patacón. So the patacón is for the flavor. Now, that's clear, right? Cool. New exercise. We're going to sing the same groove of bullerengue, but now we're going to do the tempo, which we did already, plus a beat. So if we have a drum, we're going to do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Tempo and a beat. If you don't have the drum, use your chest. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And with your voices, you're gonna try the groove. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Bullerengue, 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 patacón, bullerengue, 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 patacón, bullerengue, 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 patacón, bullerengue, 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 patacón. How was that? Good? Great. So now, if you're playing in your drums or even in the table, you can do this in your desk for real. Left hand will make this position, will have this position like a claw again. And right hand, it's gonna play this sound I was talking about that you do with your fingers. So you do bu, ye, first 2 hits in the border. Bu, ye, again. Bu, ye, again. Bu, ye. Left hand is laid down on the skin and is allowing you to have this dry sound. If I don't have this hand, it's gonna be like completely different sound. I want this. We can continue. Bullerengue. So the last part, rengue, we're gonna do an open sound with this hand. This hand is gonna go just further. And this left hand will make magic with one of those fingers, maybe using this one or this one, to make pressure. I'm gonna be exaggerated with this, but we're gonna make this pressure in the center on the skin. Any of these fingers could be. So when I have this pressure in the skin, my sound, it's higher. So the beautiful thing about Bullerengue groove is this melody we have. You can try this center effect. You will see it. If you start from this, you can listen this effect. Like. So you see how the pitch changes a lot? You're gonna find the center, and with your tip of your finger, exactly, you're gonna search that place where you can make the higher pitch sound. So now we have that tool to make bullerengue, 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 patacón. So remember the patacón, the end, the patacón will be with the bass sounds. So let's try it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bullerengue, 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 patacón, bullerengue, 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 patacón, bullerengue, 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 patacón, bullerengue, 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 patacón. That was clear? Beautiful. So we have the groove of the drum. I'm gonna sing it again so you can practice, and now I'm gonna play the maracón so you can have this feeling of this instrument that makes a lot of sense and tights the groove. And I will make llamador, or the collar drum, in this hand, which is the upbeat. So it's kind of the exercise we were doing with our hand and the chest, but using the instruments. You can play it yourselves at home in the drums, and I will sing the onomatopeia. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Bu, yerengue, bu, yerengue, bu, yerengue, bu, te patacón, bu, yerengue, bu, yerengue, bu, yerengue, bu, te patacón, bu, yerengue, bu, yerengue, bu, yerengue, bu, te patacón. Beautiful work. So what about the melody and the singing part of it? La Verdolaga, it's a beautiful traditional song you can find on YouTube after the workshop is done. And it goes like this. This is call and response. All these bullerengue rhythms is call and response. You will be my response. Es bonita y es bonita la verdolaga por el suelo. You guys will say, por el suelo. You guys speak Spanish already, of course. Por el suelo. And with the melody. Por el suelo. 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 How's that singing going in home? Good? So I'm going to sing my verse, and I believe you guys are going to be doing the response to me. My verse. Es bonita y es bonita la verdolaga por el suelo. Bonita como se riega la verdolaga por el suelo. Bonita tu variación hay la verdolaga por el suelo. I'm going to do it playing tambor alegre, and you guys should do the same and try to develop this skill of doing the groove and doing the response of the chord at the same time. You ready, guys, to try it? Mm-hmm. 1, 2, 3, 4. Y es bonita la verdolaga por el suelo. Bonita como se riega la verdolaga por el suelo. Bonita tu variación hay la verdolaga por el suelo. Bonita como se riega la verdolaga por el suelo. 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 Good job, guys. That's Bullerengue Centao. Any questions so far, or we can move on to the second rhythm, Chalupa?
So why is it called Centao?
Centao, because as I was saying, it's kind of the ballad of this genre. It's slow, and in the dance, when you see the dancers, they're gonna go always like, it's like, hold on, like don't rush. And actually, one of the dynamics in the dance space, when people is playing bullerengue, it's called rueda. It's a rueda. It's a circle of people. And you have the circle of the people doing the response, the clapping with the totuma and tablitas. There's a lead singer. There's a tamborero or tamborera like me. There's a llamador. And there's a couple. There's always a couple, But there's this dynamic called el quite. Yo te quito. Like, I push you away. So there's always only one couple. If one guy wants to come in, that guy can come in, but he needs to take out the guy that's already dancing.
So he has to have permission. He has to have permission, right?
Exactly. The same with the women. So Centao, as I was saying, sometimes when they're dancing, for example, if the dancer, she wants to stop the rueda, she's like, this is done. She can actually like sit on your tambor, and you're like, okay, that's it. Or you can even keep playing, and she's gonna sit, and it's gonna change the sound. But it's part of the culture of the music, sentado. And that's why I'm showing you Bullerengue sentado first. To me, it's quite like the introduction, but Bullerengue, it's a family. It's sort of like with salsa. You talk about salsa, but like salsa, it's so many rhythms at the same time, like guaguancó, bomba, plena, and all these traditions fusion into one movement because salsa is beyond music. And I think Bullerengue, it happens the same. So the family has sentao, which we are professionals now. It has chalupa, which we're gonna play right now. I'll show you. So chalupa, as you can see here, this is a groove. We're gonna make even a more simple groove, but culebra, boa, matambo. That's the groove we will play. So the groove for chalupa, I'm gonna play a little bit. This is faster. 2, 3. The simple version of chalupa. We will use our voices again. This is the tempo. Chalupa, 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 chalupa. Try it yourselves.
Chalupa, 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 chalupa.
Perfecto. Eso estuvo súper bien. So, if you feel, this is, o sea, tiene el tumbao, ¿cierto? Esta es un ritmo que no comienza a tiempo, sino que comienza en la síncopa. Chalupa, 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 chalupa. And this intention of like, como pulling the tempo, como jalando el tiempo, it's very chalupero. Chalupa also means the little boat that the fisherman uses every single morning to go and fishing for their food. So chalupa, chalupa, we're gonna do the same sentence, but we're gonna try the exercise what we play tempo and upbeat with llamador. How would that sound? It would be like 1, 2, 3. Chalupa, 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 chalupa. You did it? Great. We're gonna sing again chalupa, chalupa, but we're gonna change the clapping section for this. Chalupa, 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 chalupa. These tresillos que estamos haciendo en las palmas son algunas de las variaciones. When you're doing the clapping in Bullerengue, it's a whole thing. It's not only like there's variations. You do the tempo, but you do the first division or subdivision. Chalupa, 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 chalupa. It's part of the layers of Bullerengue, and all these elements you can play around with if you're a musician and you play other instruments, like guitar or bass or string sections or brass sections are elements that you can use to play around and have fun with Bullerengue beyond the tradition. So how do we play this with our tambores? Open and slap. So, first two hits, chalu. Two opens. Let's start with this. Right, left, open, open. Chalu. Chalupa. But chalupa, the pa, it's a slap. Chalupa. Right? We have that. Chalupa. And basically, we repeat the same pattern, but with left hand in a mirror. Right? First, starting with right hand, chalupa, and then with the left one, chalupa. So we have very slow. Chalupa, 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 chalupa. Beautiful. We're gonna give like an accent to the last slap. Chalupa, 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 chalupa. Great. And if you don't notice, but if you pay attention, your right hand, when it's doing the open sound, it's doing the same thing as llamador, as the color drum. It's doing the upbeat. So without you noticing, you're doing always 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just a guide. So let's try it again a little bit faster and just let it go and try to feel the groove. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Chalupa, 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 So that's the chalupa groove. It's quite short, quite simple. In the when I was sharing the screen with you, the transcription for the guys that are musicians or are studying in the transcription, this is a more developed bass. This is chalupa, chalupa, pupun, chatalupa, tacupa, tucupa, pupun, patucupa, tucupa, tucupa, pupun. It has this variation that it's gonna be with two bass sound. Chalupa, chalupa, pupun, chal. Tucupa, tucupa, pupun, patucupa, tucupa, tucupa, pupun, pacutupa, cutupa, cutupa, pupun, pacutupa. But it's just for you guys to study at home. You have like a basic groove. Chalupa, chalupa, it's a basic groove. But if you go deeper into chalupa, there's several variations around. That one would be like this. And just the speed of chalupa. You know, you can start playing around, but I'm giving you foundations to begin to discover bullerengue and chalupa. Now we have the groove of chalupa. What about if we sing culebra, boa, matambo? So repeat after me. Culebra,
Culebra,
boa,
boa,
matambo.
matambo.
Culebra, it's a snake. So it's a song about a snake, which is quite what bullerengue songs are about. It's about their context, the nature, the birds, the river, the sea, who they are, you know. It's about heritage and where they live. So, culebra, boa, matambo, óyela, culebra, culebra, boa, matambo, óyela, oye, culebra, culebra, boa, matambo, oye, mama, oye, culebra, culebra, boa, matambo, oye, papa, y oye, mama, culebra, boa, matambo. Once again, call and response. Culebra, boa, matambo. That's your response if you can practice at home. Y. Culebra, boa, matambo. Y. matambo. Are we cool with that coro?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So let's try to play a little bit. I will sing and you guys will do my response, and please also try to play your groove. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oye mamá, oye culebra, culebra boa matambo. Oye papá, oye culebra, culebra boa matambo. Si quieres hacer la cuenta, culebra boa matambo. De lo mucho que te quiero, culebra boa matambo. Cuenta si podés contar, culebra boa matambo. La gota de un aguacero, culebra boa matambo. So I'm already, yeah, I'm warm up.
I know. It's hot.
Yeah, I mean, in Bogota, it's not as hot as is in New York, but this is kind of the feeling and the spirit you start to have when you are in a rueda de bullerengue. So going back to your question, Carlos, bullerengue sentado is the moment for, okay, just take it easy.
Relax.
Yeah,
Relax.
but then chalupa, it's gonna be like a full descarga. Also, in a rueda, because you're not in a performance or in a festival, it's not like 3 minutes or 4 minute songs.
So does the sequence always follows the same, or is it more from slow to faster, then slow, then faster?
No, it goes from slow to faster and it doesn't come back. Like, actually, I was going to say, bullerengue sentado, yes, it's slow, but after 10 minutes of playing the same song, because there's going to be several people that want to dance and do the quite, and also the quite, like moving the other person, taking the person out. It happens with the tambour and with the lead singer. Like, I can be playing and I can be super hype, and then there's a guy or a woman like, okay, I want to play now. You know, hay que ceder. So that's why songs become like 10, 11 minutes. And at the end, that slow bullerengue sentado, it's going to be like as fast as a chalupa. But that's part of the dynamics, which I'm glad you're already understanding. One thing is bullerengue in the stage for a performance, for a festival, but like the street bullerengue and the rueda and the dynamic where you actually learn the most, because you can like get into the rueda. Like I'm brave enough and I enjoy to get into a rueda, but I believe the first 4 years or 3 that I was going to the festivals, I wasn't touching the skin of the drum. I was like watching. I was too afraid to. I was like, oh no, my God, I'm not gonna be able. But then, it's music. It's a process, and you learn and you learn and you learn until you understand. There's a language. I was studying percussion for like 7 years before I discovered bullerengue, but I was playing congas and I had a different language. Then I have several teachers and elders and masters that showed me, you know how to use your hands, you know how to put the hand in the drum, but there's a language in bullerengue. And years later, I fell in love and I understand how to do it. So now we have bullerengue sentado, we have the chalupa, and the last, el último de la Trinidad bullerenguera will be Fandango de lengua, which is our ¿cómo se dice? Compás compuesto, complex. How do you say, Zach? Ternario.
You can say like compound meter.
There you go.
Compound meter.
That's a good.
That's not a super popular term amongst in the music world. But that's
it's just la métrica del fandango de lengua lo diferencia porque es ternario y porque es algo muy de las músicas raizales latinoamericanas. La música popular como tal que escuchamos nosotros, no solo los latinos, sino creo que en casi cualquier país es binaria, ¿no? Rock, pop, casi todo es binario. Pero luego están estas músicas de chichicu, chico, chichicu, chico, chichicu, chico. Entonces ese es el feeling para que tengamos muy claro que eso es lo que diferencia al fandango de lengua, y además se llama de lengua porque se canta, porque en Colombia hay otros formatos de fandango con vientos, más como con el formato de una brass band de New Orleans, pero en otras regiones sí tocan fandango, pero si te hablan del fandango de lengua es cantado. El ritmo. Óyela. Bullerengue es tu papá, bullerengue es tu papá. We're gonna try that onomatopeya. Bullerengue es tu papá.
Es tu papá.
So we connect. Bullerengue es tu papá, bullerengue es tu papá, bullerengue es tu papá, bullerengue es tu papá, bullerengue es tu papá. Please try it.
Bullerengue es tu papá. Bullerengue es tu papá.
Beautiful.
Bullerengue es tu papá.
Bullerengue es tu papá, bullerengue es tu papá, bullerengue es tu papá. So, playing with the drums. Los primeros golpes. Vamos a hacer bullerengue with fourth open sound. Starting with right hand. Bullerengue. Bulleren. The first three sounds, let's do. Bulleren. 3 open. Y otra vez. 1, 2, 3. That's the beginning. Bullerengue. Ese ge is going to be a slap with the right hand. So you have to repeat. Bullerengue. Right?
Okay.
Bullerengue. And from now on, we're going to just repeat the right hand all the time. Bullerengue es.
Yes.
Bass sound. So we start with 3 open sounds, slap and bass. Bullerengue es. Bullerengue es. Bullerengue es. Bullerengue es. Bullerengue es. And actually that bass sound, it's like the heart of the groove. You should hit that one hard. Bullerengue es. Bullerengue es. Bullerengue es. Bullerengue es. Great. So we have that. We're missing the last part. Bullerengue es tu papá, tu papá. That last section, open with the right hand and 2 slaps in the left. Tu papá. Tu papá. That means that if we connect both parts, we need to repeat the right hand, right? Bullerengue es tu papá. So we were here at the bass sound, and after the bass sound, you come back with right hand to an open sound to make the closure of the group. Bullerengue es tu papá, 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 bullerengue es tu papá. And when you speed up a little bit, it makes a lot of sense why you have to repeat the right hand so much. It flows.
After the bass, what comes after the bass?
Right hand again with open sound.
Oh, and then 2 slaps. I got you.
Yeah, so that's what I was saying. You necessarily need to repeat your right hand after the bass sound even. You come back. Yeah, and you actually come back to your tempo. That's the tempo feeling. Bullerengue es tu papá. 2 slaps with the left hand at the end, and you start again. Bullerengue es tu papá. Bullerengue es tu papá. Is that groove clear?
Yep.
Super. So I want to show you in the document, in the presentation that you guys will have in your mail, because Zach will send it to you later. There's a transcription of a different groove, even more simple, that we can use to switch sections in the song, you know? And this groove, I'll show you, because you guys can't just read it. Talented musicians. There you go, this one. So right hands, or derecha, D is derecha, I is izquierda in Spanish. The right hand will be slaps and the left hand will be opens. That would be pa, ku, 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 pa. Pa, ku, pa, ku, pa, ku, pa, ku, pa, ku, pa, ku, pa. Basically, we're doing the tempo, slapping in the right hand non-stop, and then open sounds para darle el sabor a la base. That's a simple one, right? But that one, if you are in a rueda de bullerengue, that you guys one day will be, if you make that, you force the couple to dancing towards to you, you know? It's a way of saying, you know what? I'm gonna tight the groove and the couple will be coming to you to dance. So what I wanna try right now is to mix these two grooves. We're gonna come from bullerengue, es tu papá, bullerengue, es tu papá, pa, cu, pa, cu, pa, cu, pa, cu, pa, cu, pa, cu, pa. You know? Try to have two sections. That's what we will try to do. Ready? 1, 2, 3, y bullerengue es tu papá, bullerengue es tu papá, bullerengue es tu papá. Last one. Great job. So that's what you guys have to do at home, trying to connect the grooves, but also bullerengue es tu papá, pa, cu, pa, cu, pa, cu, pa, bullerengue, coming back from the simple groove to the more complex, let's say, groove. We're gonna sing a song called Mama Alaba, Lava, like, yeah. And let's learn the response you guys will do at home. Asómate ven a ver, vamos a lavar, lava, y asómate a la ventana, mamá está lavando. Asómate ven a ver, vamos a lavar, lava. So repeat after me if you don't speak Spanish. Asómate, ven a ver, vamos a lavar, lava. It's like, come, take a look, and let's wash. And this is Español, but this is not Español. This is Costeñol, which is how people in the Caribbean coast, and they're always gonna mute the R's at the end. So we're not gonna say, asómate, ven a ver, vamos a lavar, lavar. No, in Costeñol, asómate, ven a ver, vamos a lavar, lavar. With the melody. Asómate, ven a ver, vamos a lavar, lavar. Again, y asómate, ven a ver, vamos a lavar, lavar. Asómate, ven a ver, vamos a lavar, lavar. Can you try it at home? My choristas?
Sorry I left. Some lightning hit a house next to us. So. It's a thunderstorm.
There's a thunderstorm?
Yeah, I'm upstate. So.
Okay.
Oh, Zach, did you know I moved upstate? I moved up in May. Now, holy shit! What the fuck? Holy
Oh gosh. It's like we should make like a storm bullerengue.
You guys didn't hear that. That was literally, that was like in my backyard, dude.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
about to start raining in the city too.
No, literally, literally was right next to me. It was like probably like 150 feet away from me.
Wow. That's insane.
Dude, that was so big.
But you're okay, right? Yeah.
Yeah, we're okay, but that was two of them right next to our backyard.
It's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
So with the Fandango and with this song, I'm gonna play the groove and you try the same. Try to play in your tambores and try to sing the coro. I think this one is gonna be a little bit tricky, but try to do it. I'm not sure if we're gonna come or not this storm with this, but let's hope for the better, you know? This is it. Asómate, Bernabé, vamos a lavar. Asómate a la ventana, mamá está lavando. Asómate, Bernabé, vamos a lavar. Asómate, compañera, ay, 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 Dios mío. Asómate, Bernabé, vamos a lavar. Ay, Dios mío, y en el día de mi muerte. Asómate, Bernabé, vamos a lavar. Fandango style. So I think we basically, hold on. Yeah, with those three groups, Bullerengue, Sentado, Chalupa, and Fandango, we basically play and cover what the Bullerengue family in the Caribbean coast it's all about. If you have any questions now, let me know. I will share right now a little bit of the artists that you guys can keep listening to if you wanna, go deeper and maybe practice at home or just listen to different Colombian music.
Absolutely. I love it.
Yeah.
Is Zach, is it recorded on YouTube?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so I can go back and, okay,
You can go back and watch the whole thing.
absolutely.
Yo tengo una
You're good.
pregunta, Daniela. Yo tengo una pregunta.
It's question.
Dame.
No sé si me escucháis. ¿Me escucháis o no?
Yes.
¿Cómo
Sí,
es el...
te escuchamos.
Perdón, me acabo de dar cuenta que yo estaba con el micrófono prendido y estaba tocando aquí la tumbadora. O sea que igual estuve molestando y sin darme cuenta, I'm sorry. Mi pregunta es, ¿cómo es el baile del fandango de lengua? Se fue. It's gone.
Yeah, there seems to have been a problem with the connection
Yeah.
for a moment. Let's give it a second, maybe give it a chance to buffer and catch up with itself.
Yeah, sorry, I was with my mic open. So I was playing the conga and singing.
Hey, Zach, can you hear me?
Yes.
It's Charles. It's Dempsey's dad. She had a bike accident today and got stitches on her chin.
Oh, no.
So that's why she's not here, but it's not a big deal. It's only like a small thing, but like, yeah, she had to go to the hospital. But I recorded it all and I got it for her.
Great. Great. Well, I'm glad it's not more serious.
She texted me and she said that she felt bad that she was missing it. And I said, don't worry about it. You're going to be okay. I'll record it for you.
She gets stitches.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Did she get stitches?
Yeah, he said she.
Yeah, she had like 7 stitches in her chin. She's okay though.
Let's see if Danny can get back on. It seems like she's here. I think her thing is it's just connecting. There we go.
Hey, is there a link though? Do we have a link for the YouTube, or is that you're gonna put that up?
Volví.
There you are.
There
I'm
she
back.
is. Hey.
There we go.
Sí. Sorry, guys.
Bueno, mi pregunta había, my question was, how was the dance of the Bullerengue, of the Fandango de lengua? ¿Cómo es el baile?
Sí.
Si es en parejas o, porque me recordó, I mean, these 3 different rhythms remind me to the guaguancó, Colombia, and Jambu, right?
Es
So the
es
Colombia is
súper
individual
parecido.
and really to show off. I wanted to know if this is related to, or is in a couple.
It is in a couple and it's related. I feel it has some of the, when we talk about Africans that were on a slave brought from Africa, we generalize, but there's like a specific etnias and a specific tribus de los pueblos and the regions bullerengueras that I was talking about. San Basilio de Palenque, yo creo que sería un referente clave para ti, porque para mí no es una pequeña Cuba, es una pequeña África en Colombia, pero es donde siento como esa etnicidad más fuerte. Y allá, además de tocar su bullerengue de una manera muy particular, tocan son palenquero. O sea, es son palenquero con marímbula, con un bongo. Entonces yo creo que hay conexiones fuertes, pero como tú preguntas del baile, sí hay cosas con los movimientos parecidas. Es en pareja, siempre es en pareja y siempre está la dinámica del quite. No puede haber como 5 parejas bailando, no. Es una y en una canción se van a ir rotando. Entra un chico a sacar al chico, entra otra chica a sacar la chica, se dan la pelea también, pero pues todo de manera muy comunitaria y positiva. Y pues hay un video que les quiero compartir, que creo que Zach lo tiene listo para ver un poquito cómo bailan en este video. Van a reconocer la canción, es Chalupa, porque claro, hay diferencias marcadas entre cómo se baila Chalupa al fandango y al centavo.
Yeah.
Sí, sí hay.
Right up.
Gracias.
De nada.
Tremenda clase, me encantó.
Ay, gracias. Igual tengo otro poquito más, pero veamos este video.
Matando, no me vayan a picar. Negra boa matando, no me vayan a picar. Negra boa
So yeah, that was the dancing from a school in San Juan de Urabá, called a music school called Música por la Paz. These territories and these regions in Colombia, when we talk about the armed conflict and the conflict that we have in terms of violence, these communities are the most affected ones. Como que la guerra, y donde están como el ejército o las guerrillas o los grupos armados, ya sean del ejército o sean grupos armados alternativos, esos territorios en los que ellos están es donde se pelean, ¿sabes? En la ciudad tú no vives el conflicto armado, ellos son los que lo viven más en la región Caribe, pero pasa en todas las regiones de Colombia, todas las regiones que sean campesinas, que sean indígenas, que sean afrodescendientes, son vulnerables al conflicto armado. Desafortunadamente, lo que hablaba al comienzo de que el bullerengue pues es el canto de resistencia que nació de los negros cuando estaban esclavizados y siendo oprimidos, desafortunadamente sigue siendo la realidad actual, ¿no? Pues con los cambios del tiempo, pero Colombia no es un país menos racista que Estados Unidos, somos un país que también tiene el racismo en sus dinámicas y bueno, el bullerengue es esa música que por lo menos nos permite conectar y nos muestra cuáles son esas manifestaciones culturales y por qué es importante tener una relación con ellas que no sea la del folclore, huepaje, la fiesta en Colombia, ¿no? Nosotros en Colombia nos enseñan muy bien a disfrutar el folclore de esa manera, la fiesta, pero creo que hay mucho más allá y la educación en el país debería proporcionarnos en los colegios un acercamiento sincero a esta música, porque as I was telling you guys, I didn't learn this at school or even at music college, which I went. I did it in the streets and traveling to small villages and in the festivals. It's actually changing because I went to college like years ago. It was different back then. I believe now there's more spaces like this one Zach invited me to, like master classes of bullerengue. So I want to talk to you about artists, bullerengue queens. Of course, the role of women, it's quite relevant in these communities. Petrona Martínez in the left is the queen, like officially the queen of bullerengue. You'll find her music. She's a natural composer. You know, when you go to these places, they are musicians by nature. They have an instinct to write their songs, and she's quite amazing. And Graciela Salgado in the right side, I believe is the first tamborera we as Colombians can talk about. Maybe there's more tamboreras, but we don't know about them because history is not talking about them. But Graciela Salgado from San Basilio de Palenque, once again, important referent of cantora, tamborera, sabedora de bullerengue. And here in this list, you'll find several names because there's so many artists. Petrona Martínez is actually famous in the country, as well as Totola Momposina. But they're, once again, the tip of the iceberg. There's so many artists. Emil Pacheco, first on the list. My tambor teacher, he was the one that showed me how to play and how to feel free. Paula Flores Lapaggi, Seferina Banquez, Etelvina Maldonado. All these names that you have in this list, I strongly recommend to look for them on YouTube. You'll find music of all of them. The future will be bullerenguero. This is the photo of the kids from the Escuela Música para la Paz that we just saw. Just so you know, guys, this bullerengue music, it's not dying. Yes, the communities are suffering, especially with COVID, but the music is alive and new generations are like playing. And because of the quarantine, there has been so many virtual spaces like this. There's a diaspora of Colombianos, people from different nationalities and learning merengue, still in the quarantine. There's spaces, foros virtuales, talleres, conversatorios. It's like it's becoming a thing. That's for. Thank you so much. That's the end of my presentation. Now we have time for some Q&A. I'm a Percu on Instagram, so you can follow and check out, more virtual classes, the music that I write, the things that I create with my projects. And you can find my tutorial videos on YouTube under El Beat del Bullerengue. 5 years ago, I began to produce my own tambour alegre videos. And actually how to play bullerengue, how to play, sing, and dance. Actually, you were asking about dance. I teach a little bit of movement in English about that in that video. And I did these videos because the access to this music, it's quite, if you go to the regions, you learn. But in YouTube, there's also a lot of videos, but not all the time they explain to you, sabes, no siempre te deshuesan y te desenredan un poco como cada golpe y como cada cosa. La tradición oral allá es un poco, pum, dale, bueno, pero ¿y cómo hago? Que tiene su magia y es especial, así aprendí yo, pero my intention with this workshop is to reach as much people as I can, and it's not only for musicians. I believe anyone in Colombia should understand this, the bullerengue culture that you guys now understand a little bit better. So if you have questions, we can do it right now, but yeah, that's it for right now. Ese fue el taller.
Do we have any questions for Dani while we have her here?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna look. I'm trying to find you on YouTube, and I will definitely review this. And yeah, I love it. I've never heard of it, but it's fabulous. I love it. I want to learn it.
Thank you so much. And also, there's bullerengue. There's this artist called Lido Pimienta. She's quite trendy right now. She's the Caribbean coast, but she's doing we're talking about alternative sound, pop music, big production, but she has the roots of bullerengue in his music, in the sound, and in the visual. All I'm saying is that bullerengue goes beyond the traditions I've shown you. There's that this bubbling new Colombian music alternative scene. It's adventurous musicians trying to put bullerengue with classical music, rock, punk, folk, rap, trap. There's all kinds of things here, so this is just one layer of bullerengue music. But
you're gonna put together exactly a playlist, a little playlist, so we can refer to it.
Of course, I'll send that to you with through Zach, a strictly traditional bullerengue, and one with more new sounds and alternatives.
Wonderful. Beautiful.
I have that prepared for you guys. Yeah, of course.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hi.
Thank you guys so much for your time. You are so
Zach,
open.
could you send us the PowerPoint, or I don't know if you can provide us the PowerPoint?
We can send the PowerPoint and both playlists and everything. Here, Natalie, you had a question?
Please.
Oh yeah. Hi. How long have you been doing this for? Doing the bullerengue art form?
15 years, I would say, with bullerengue, but before, I'm 30 years old right now. So when I was 15, I was in music school in college, and Emilsen Pacheco, bullerengue musician, came from the coast to my university. He was going to teach a workshop like this. He was like, bullerengue. And I was like, what is bullerengue? But before I was 15, I've been playing music and studying since I was 6 years old. So, from my childhood to my teenage life, I was playing tambor, I was playing Latin American music, more like rhythms from Cuba or Puerto Rico or República Dominicana, even Afro-Peruvian music. You know, we have this diversity. But when I was 15, Bullerengue came into my life. And since that time, you know, that's the perfect time for a woman to travel around the country and go to festivals and understand my country in a deeper way. Because as I was saying, Bullerengue, I discovered it wasn't about music only. I was going to the festivals and the first experiences, I was like, everybody is musician here, right? Like me, like we are all like going to music school. And if you play a tambor or if you sing, you are a musician. And I realized all my teachers are fishermen, farmers, you know, it's just regular people with regular daily life.
Yeah.
Of a small village cotidianidad. So yeah, that switched my mind and my approach to music, where it's not only, you know, entertainment or, of course, it makes me feel better, but it's a cultural manifestation. And yeah.
I have a question. So I noticed that a lot of the names you've mentioned have been women, which is pretty unusual for musics of this type throughout Latin America. How can you talk a little bit about like how women came to play such an important, like such a, like it seems very important role in this in this art form as opposed to in other ones?
Yeah, when it comes to sing and dance, it's always been very common in the Caribbean coast, at least in Colombia. It's very common that a woman it's singing and dancing. But for example, the tamborera role, that's a new thing, aparentemente, no? When I was going to the festivals, I never saw a woman playing tambor. I never from the region. I was with like 4.
Uh-oh. Connection problems again.
Break the shell and say, I want to play tambor. But now it's happening. It's changing. I would say 10 years ago, this master class, I would be like, no, I don't see women playing tambor. But these days, oh, there's many of them. I believe it's because it's happening all over the world. We are changing, dynamics are changing, women are emancipating. And however, Graciela Salgado, the photo of the woman that I showed you, that she's like a legend, not a living because she passed away. She's a legend playing tambor, makes me think that it might be, maybe there were more, ¿sabes? Quizás había más mujeres tocando tambor. La diferencia es como que la historia no nos las mostró, que eso es otra cosa.
Yeah, it's a question of who's telling the history.
Exactamente, pero ahora se ve mucho más, muchas mujeres tocando tambor en las regiones. En Chigorodó hay una chica que toca tambor súper bien. En Barranquilla tengo una amiga que se llama Jen del Tambo, que la recomiendo buscar. Para mí es la mejor tamborera que he visto. Pero it is true that as a woman playing and going to the festivals, there was so many microaggressions or micromachismos where you have to deal with the fact that you play so good to be a woman. You know, like it is not relevant. Yeah, like for example, I have these kind of comments in my YouTube channel. People is always 98% of the time very supportive, but there's a couple comments from guys where I speak in my videos. It's not like, this is Bullerengue, 1, 2, 3, 4. I speak a little bit about my experience and how I feel. And all they say is like, go to minute 5 if you don't want to listen to her talking, or, you know, something like, and I'm like, so you come to my channel and you want to learn, but you still have the guts to write that comment. It's like, you know, O sea, para responderte, creo que las dinámicas machistas están en la música, en toda la música, están en el bullerengue, están en la ciudad y están en las regiones, pero things are changing, honestly. Y hay una cosa muy interesante con el bullerengue y la costa, y es la apertura también a la comunidad LGBTQ. I have many gay, lesbians, queer friends in the Caribbean coast, and their society, it's quite oppressive against sexual freedom. But once again, world is changing and they're having more freedom to speak out, and people is changing and accepting, not accepting, it's just natural. You know, we shouldn't be judging anyone for who they are or who they love or who they want to be with. But it's something, es algo que tú ves en el bullerengue antes mucho más oculto, ¿sabes? Como si un hombre es gay en el bullerengue, entonces es como nadie lo dice, pero todo el mundo lo sabe. Y creo que hoy en día pues también está cambiando y la música tiene que ser un medio para expresar y liberarte. So it's interesting because there's many social aspects como convergiendo, mixed in from the bullerengue perspective. Yeah. Sí, eso.
Great. Well, I don't know if anyone has any more questions, but if not, I just want to take a second and just say thank you, Daniela. Muchas gracias for sharing with us. This has been amazing.
Gracias.
This has been amazing, eye-opening. I've learned so much, and it's really just thank you for being so generous with us and sharing so much of your knowledge.
Thank you, Zach, for the opportunity, for you guys being so open at home, playing with the drums, and, you know, hopefully one day we'll have this space again in person. Pero es un honor y un gusto para mí siempre compartir el bullerengue y siempre pues tratar de que nos acerquemos a la música de una manera más profunda, que no sea solo como el ritmo, el entretenimiento, sino que hay una historia que se está contando ahí en el bullerengue y pues ahora ustedes la conocen y bueno, es la puerta para que sigan descubriendo la riqueza musical que hay en este país, que es más grande de lo que parece, de verdad.
Sí, es un país muy diverso y muy lindo, ¿no? Yeah. And also congratulations on LADAMA's fantastic new record, Oye Mujer, which just came out, I think, last week, right?
Yep.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Of course. So my band, it's called LADAMA. I've been playing with them since 2016 officially as a band. And 1 week ago, we released our second studio album called Oye Mujer. You can find it in all digital platforms on YouTube and stream it and discover this journey that we have. You're going to find several genres and music styles because we are from 4 different countries. Our drummer, Lara Claus, is from Recife, Brazil. So she has these Northeast influences, porro, maracatu, iyesha, afoxé, samba, reggae in the record. Then the bandola, it's an instrument we have in Colombia and Venezuela. It's quite Arabic, the roots of bandola, and she plays bandola llanera. So we have an Afro-Venezuelan elements in this record as well. And she's playing the acoustic version and the electronic version of it and playing with electronic sounds. You know, we were like experimenting. Then we have Sarah Lucas from Brooklyn, New York, but originally born in St. Louis, Missouri. So she grew up with the blues, with R&B, and you know, she's an amazing singer. She also plays electric guitar in this record. I'm the Colombian soul of the band with my tambour alegre and cumbia and bullerengue, and I rap and I sing as well in the band. But in this record, Oye Mujer, I was able to record congas, repique from Brazil, electronic pads. It was the first time I was experimenting creating my own beats. So it's a beautiful record, and the lyrics are all about what's happening in the world. It's about feminism, about las catástrofes que han ocurrido en el mundo. Nosotros estuvimos de gira mientras ocurrió el huracán María en Puerto Rico, mientras ocurrieron los terremotos en México, estábamos de gira en Estados Unidos y mientras tanto hubo unos apagones de 90 horas de luz en Venezuela, y todas esas experiencias y como la experiencia humana como tal es lo que nutre Oye Mujer. So it's a visceral record, as we called, and it's a catharsis and a rebirth at the same time. I really hope you guys go after this and listen to it, because I believe it's a beautiful work. It was recorded in Rio de Janeiro. We were very lucky to work with a producer called Casin. Rio de Janeiro, it's a fabulous, magical, really musical city, and that it's on the record, and all of us are singing. It's not just one singer, it's all of us singing in Spanish, in Portuguese, in English, and I record a poem in French because I love French. And why? Because all the music, we wrote it together as a collective. You know, our speech with LADAMA, it's once again about community. It's not about one of us just doing everything, but building pieces together. And you should go and listen to Oye Mujer because it's really good, and we put a lot of effort.
Put it on the bottom of the, or the top of the playlist, because of the language. Is so this way I know what to look for.
Of course, yeah. Oye Mujer is like, hey woman, is like, Oye Mujer.
Oye Mujer.
Oye Mujer, sí.
Oye Mujer, okay. Got it. Oye.
Qué linda.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Dani.
De nada.
Thank you, Dani, and thank you for everyone who participated today. This has been great. And yeah, I hope that, you know, when the world returns to whatever normal is going to be, next time you're in New York, we can do this in person.
I believe so, yeah.
You're in Colombia right now? You're in Colombia?
Yes, in Bogotá.
This is wonderful. Okay. And Zach, thank you for putting it together.
Of course. Every Wednesday.
Gracias, Zach.
All right. I'm going to go. I'll see you next time. Okay. Bye. Ciao.
Ciao.
How do I get out? Okay. I had no idea how to end this. I don't want to go.